end of this tutorial, you should be able to create characters like this in Blender using just PNG files, that is image files. So let's get started. Okay, hopefully this will be a very short tutorial. So now that we have our animation, how do we render it out? Very easy. So all you just need to do is, okay, right now we do not have a camera, and how you know we would not have a camera is when if you press 0, nothing happens. We deleted everything when we started making this, so just just take that into note. So so let's create a new collection. We do not have to, but I just need everything to be organized. So let's create a new collection, and then let's call this camera. So after doing this, let's select that collection, and then let's press Ctrl A. Make sure you're in object mode, press Ctrl A, and then now we have camera right here. Ctrl A is to add anything, whether it's object, whether it's mesh, curve, anything you want to add, you come in and you press camera, and then now we have a camera in the scene. And if you press I, you should be able to concentrate, and you'll be able to see the camera right there. Okay, so now if you press O, you see it's way embedded in the character, which is not what we want. So I want you to zoom out a bit, come to the point that you're seeing the whole character, and then just press Ctrl Alt 0. So when you press Ctrl Alt 0, or when you select the camera, I believe there should be a way of doing that up here. I don't know, I've not tried that before. I'm just used to shortcuts. So press Ctrl Alt 0, and your camera will just pop on your character, like it will pop on like this. And we do not want this kind of camera because it's a 2D animation, which you could still use. This kind of camera is fine, but this is a 2D animation, so I would say you should use a different kind of camera. So when you select this, you come to your camera right here. So this option is not available until you're selecting the camera. So if I'm selecting something like this, let's say I'm selecting her hand, camera goes away. So until you're selecting the camera, that's when this option will be available. So you select this, and then you click this, and then you click orthographic. So you make your camera orthographic. I've not used this paranomic before. Let me try it and see. Okay, it doesn't seem like anything changed. I don't know what it's for. I've not used it before, but use orthographic. So when you click orthographic, now you have your camera zooms in, and that's because it doesn't recognize the 3D space anymore. It just recognizes scale. So all you need to do to make your camera, your whole character to be showing, is to press, just come to scale here and drag it upwards, make it up, take it upwards until your entire character is showing. And you could move your camera with G. So you press G and you should be able to move your camera to move it and make sure your entire character is showing. So G, let's just do it like this, and then let's zoom out more further. G, our whole character should be showing now. Okay, so now we play it, our entire character is showing. Perfect. Okay, so now that we have our camera, we can now render. You cannot render without your camera. You could, there's a way of doing it. You have to use the viewport, which is just unnecessary. Use the camera. I think it's just way better that way. So now that we have this, there are two ways of rendering. You could either render, come here, come to this, maybe I should be calling the output tab or whatever. Click that, and then come down to output. This is where you now select where you want your mesh to go to. So save this first. And one thing that you need to note is, okay, since we're making this in 2D, you don't have to worry about your render engine. So there are 3 render engines for Blender, and Cycles is one of them. Cycles is for 3D. Actually, all of them are for 3D. But Cycles is just for like more realistic kind of stuffs. And since we're just working with images in the first place that do not even need shadows, you do not need that. You just need Eevee. So it's set at on Eevee by default. So just put that at the back of your mind. So come here, and then here you can do your aspect ratio or whatever if you want to make like a TikTok kind of thing. And so you can just scale this like this or whatever. Just scale it to whatever resolution you want. So that, and then you could change it from 24 FPS to 30. I don't think there's any use for it. Just leave it at 24, especially since it's animation. In fact, if there's a way to reduce it to 12, do that, because most animation run on 12 frames per second. So Now you come to your output, you click this, and then I don't know if this is displaying. Okay, it is. Yes, perfect. I was able to fix that issue I was having initially. So now let's come to where we want to save it. So let me just try and locate this that I want to save this. So this is our character, and then let me just create a new folder and name this let's name this png. No, let's name this character. Okay, so now when we do this, let's open that folder and accept that. So when I accept that, save it, and now you have the option of what file format you want. So most of the time I use PNG and I use transparency. So RGBA is like red, green, or something, and then alpha, something like that. I don't know what it is. Anyway, it's the A is for alpha, so you need to activate that if you want the background to transparent, so you can put your character on to any background you want. So just make sure this is available and make sure it's PNG, because it's only PNG that can do that. I don't know. WebP is available. Oh, I didn't know that. Maybe I should try WebP for this one and see, because it's still available. Yeah, so let's try WebP. Most people hate WebP, but I actually love WebP. So let's do this, and then after doing all these, now we have everything set. So let's just save alpha, and then now you can come to your render here, and then render animation. So when I click this now, it starts rendering, and if you go through and render everything, but let me undo that for a moment. Okay, let's just undo that. Okay, so now this will not render because this is just a reference, but there are other folders that we have, there are other files that we have in all these folders. If you remember, there are stuff that we made like this. This is visible. This will still render because this is sort of like an image that we imported. It was not a reference image. So this will render. So just because it's invisible here doesn't mean that it's not showing the render. It will show in the render. So what you need to do to make sure that it doesn't render is to disable in renders. So when you click this, it doesn't even matter if it's still visible in your viewport, and this is the viewport, by the way. It doesn't matter if it's still available in your viewport, it's still visible. When you click this, it doesn't render. It will not render. So let's just make it invisible too. Let's look for other stuff that we added that we made invisible. I think that's it. I think that's all. I believe so. So that's just it. This is the only thing. So now let's run our render again and see. Render animation. So first thing you need to do, just render it as image first, so that just make sure you're not missing something. Maybe there's something in the background or whatever that is just not there. So I think my image is not rendering, it's rendering with a background color. I think, I'm not really certain. I think it's rendering with a background color, and I don't know why. So let's move down to this. I think it's because it's WebP. WebP is supposed to be able to have transparency too. It has alpha, so I don't know. Let me change it back to PNG, and then we'll try this again. Instead, let me locate the folder where I kept this and just make sure that it is it's rendering as PNG. Nope, this is rendering with a background color. Yep, this is rendering with a background color. So let's change it to PNG, and then we'll see. PNG, perfect. Okay, there's supposed to be some place that we're supposed to activate alpha. So just because alpha is clicked here, I think there is some place I'm supposed to click alpha. Okay, I just remembered where it is. Come to this, that's the render tab. Come to theme. Here you see theme. Open that, and then transparent is here. So the background automatically is not transparent, so even with alpha it will still be transparent. It will still have the whatever color that is here. So you want to make sure you enable this. So just make this transparent, and let's go back to WebP, because I just want to see how it will render with WebP. So WebP, and then let's leave it with alpha, and then let's just let's save it, and then let's start the render and see. Yep, it's rendering with alpha. Perfect. I don't know if you can see this. No, you can't. So let's just leave it at this. I will be displaying the final result, maybe with a background or whatever, just random stuff. But okay, this is it. This is what I have so far. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please give us a like, give us a sub. It will help us to reach more people, and it will help us to reach you with more contents like this in the future. Thank you and bye for now.